So myself, I'm Ravi Teja. Uh, so I I have different roles of experience in the teaching as well as in the research field as well as in the entrepreneur. At present, I'm currently working as a data scientist from my side, as well as I have worked as for 4 years uh, in an engineering college where I given the teaching as well as even I worked in Indian Space Research Organization for Chandrayaan 2 and Mangalyaan projects. So later, I have published so many research papers and journals. Later, I have started my own startup in the artificial intelligence, where in my team there are nearly 30 plus members are there, which I have gotten recently an patents from an Indian government as well as I applied for the other country governments too. So I'm still awaiting for the result for getting of patents. And we are mainly focused on to the healthcare as well as in the agriculture. So currently I'm working as in the data scientist in one of the MNC, where parallelly I'm giving the trainings, different programs in Python, AWS, as well as AWS DevOps, machine learning, deep learning, artificial neural networks, convolution neural networks, natural language processing. So big data, Hadoop, Hive, PySpark, all these kind of programs which I used to give the training. So which are the present current trending technologies. So from today, I'm going to start one new batch that is Python. So where parallelly, even for who wants to go to learn the data science as well as other areas like in the machine learning as well as in the convolution neural networks or NLP, whatever it may be. So the Python is more essential. So that's why today I'm going to start the Python batch. From my side, uh, I want to say that I will go, so that is an interactive way. So where I used to ask you to share the screen, where parallelly you are going to do along with me. So this is not kind of a class where you are sitting and listening. So which I won't encourage. So parallelly, if you do means then only you will be getting or gain the knowledge of Python programming. This is a kind of programming. This is not a kind of the tools. So later you can be practice like that. You should not think in that way. So the practice is the most important thing. Then only you will feel that Python is easy. So even this Python compared to other programming languages, Python is very easy. But if you want to feel like that, you have to do parallelly along with me. That is the main thing. So unless if you are not listening, if you are not doing parallelly, just if you are writing simply notes, and later if you are not practicing, it you won't get any result. So our main aim is ultimate goal is all are joining in the Python batch means something you have to learn. You have to implement the programs on your own. That is the main target. So I will make you all to do in such a way to write the programs on your own. Even if you are technical or non-technical, doesn't matter. So first of all, most of the people in the mind, they will be having that. So we are coming from non-technical background. We are coming from technical background. So I don't have this kind of experience, whether I can able to do or not. Such kind of questions for everyone, all the questions will be rotating in your mind. So these are all immatter. So if you attend the classes regularly, whatever I am telling, if you are following along with me, if you are doing the practice, then it is more than sufficient. So I will make you to do the some questions in the class itself. I won't give some kind of assignment also. Later, if you don't want to spend the special time also. If you concentrate for 1 hour concentratedly and if you are doing practice, that it is more than sufficient. For for the interview questions later on, that you can concentrate separately. But in first of all, if you want to go for an interview, you have to know the subject. That subject I can give for you. The interview clearance is which you won't feel that it is hard. It's very like a simple. If you are practicing all the things, whatever I'm telling, you'll feel more easy. This is what I want to say. Uh, First thing, and later we will start the subject. So totally every day I will start 1 hour class. So I will give some kind of a demo how we will go in the class in the further classes. Today is like a demo. So you don't feel that it is a hard or simple, whatever it may be. Just simply listen. How you felt to let me know by the end of the class. So that we'll go in such a way according to your interest. So anyway, this kind of theory I won't prefer. This is only the class where I'm going to tell the theory. From next class onwards itself, entire practical only. Theory also I'll be telling in the practical only. So that is what the thing is. 10 year, 15-year back, actually Java is popular, .NET is popular. All these came into the more popular before 10 to 15 years. Nowadays, everywhere, if you are seeing any kind of job, they are mainly asking the Python. Why this Python is getting more popular? Why everyone is preferring this Python? So why not the other languages? Why they are only preferring this language only? That is what we want to know before going to start the learning the Python. So first of all, why you want to learn? That you have to know. Unless if you don't know why you want to learn, there is no meaning. So this is what I want to say. Python or any JavaScript, these two are coming into a scripting language only. These two will call a scripting language. So Python is a scripting based language where you are going to write simply, you can implement everything in the some line of command or simple functions. Based on that, you can implement the things, whatever the things you want to implement. So you don't need such kind of modular kind of level programming. Even the Python also will be preferring modular level kind of programming. But the scripting based language also, you can get the solutions whatever you require. So instead of writing 1,000 lines or 150 lines, 200 lines of code in the Java, here you will be writing the same application in the Python just in 10 to 15 lines. That is what how much simple as well as how much useful also the Python. So if you see in the Java, if you are implementing some kind of any application, so there that kind of application if you are going to implement, it will take you have to implement so many lines of code. Then coming to Python, you won't write those many lines, just only 10 to 15 lines. That's all. That too, we have everything. Already all inbuilt functions are there. Just you have to use that function and you have to implement within single line. So that is a more flexibility. That's why everyone is preferring Python because of that. Code complexity can be reduced here. First thing, there is because of having the so many libraries. Because what suppose if you are having the ready-made, if you are having anything instead of preparing everything on your own. If a ready-made, if it is available, preparing the food is instantaneously, it will take very short span of time. But if you are not having ready-made kind of food, and if it is not, if you want to find cook the food, everything by cutting vegetables and etc., it will take so much amount of time. If it is already been prepared, what is required for the food to prepare the food, then it is easy, no? The similar way, here also in the Python, already the libraries are already available. You don't need to implement the entire code. Whenever it is necessary, just you have to use that library and you have to implement. That's all. That's all. That is also a single to two lines of code. You won't feel that much hard while writing the Python. That is true. So most of the people will be having in the mind that as I am the non-technical, whether I can be right, I can write this by coding or not. Definitely will write. That is sure. Because of we don't require to use and have to scratch our brain like anything. We should not feel like that as it is hard. So you will feel it's easy because of having the so many modular libraries, packages, everything it is available. Simply we have to use and use that. That's all. By using that, your life is easy. Otherwise, you have to implement everything from the scratch. That will be a typical. So that means you won't feel this Python is like a coding, simply like an English language. How you are going to talk with someone in English language, the similar way you will also feel when you are while you are writing here in Python. You won't feel that much hard. So we'll be set up our system in a multiple way. So that is we can see it here and how Python behaves. So Python is a kind of the high programming, high level interpretable programming language. That means high level interpretable programming language as well as object oriented language. So high level interpretable is nothing but so C language, C++, Java, all these are called as a high level languages. Why we will call high level languages that I am not going to discuss. So that is, I will take so much time before while discussing that. So these are all called as high level languages, where we'll be writing the program in an interactive way, as well as the another one is low level languages are there. Low level languages, which you will be calling it as microprocessors as well as microcontrollers, that is hardware languages. That is 8085, 8086, 8051. All these are called as a low level languages, where you will be writing the code in detail how the system will be treating inside. So suppose if you are telling to add the two numbers, simply will be writing here instruction in the high level programming languages. But how the internally the addition operation is going to happen, that kind of language you will be writing by using low level. So just writing the simply command, the writing program adding of two numbers, it won't sufficient. So after writing and adding of two numbers, it should have to go inside that, and internally it has to get executed by low-level programming language. That is different story through 8085 or whatever processor or controller. 8-level, high-level interpretable programming languages where this is on Python is high level as well as interpretable. Interpretable means whatever you are going to write a single line of code, you can able to see what the result is and you can able to debug it is, what it is happening. Writing 1,000 lines of the code, after that you only if you want to execute, that is that is not kind of this programming language. Whatever you are writing single line of code, you can able to interpret what the result is the result will be coming. You can see each and every line of the code, you can interpret it. So whether it is working fine or not, you won't feel that much difficulty for interpretation. So that is the way. Next one, this is a object-oriented programming language. So in Python, whatever you are going to see, it is a kind of an object. What is object? Everything we are going to see in the further classes. So these are the main thing, object-oriented. So if I tell now also, you will feel some hard. This I will tell later. So this is the main thing. High level interpretable is where you are going to write a single line of the code. You can able to interpret what it is happening. That is interpretable. So that is a Python such kind of language. So why we want to focus on the programming? So if you don't learn the programming, what happens? That is the next question. So this is a Python what we have seen. If you don't learn the focus on programming or whatever it may be, if you are only focusing on the some kind of tools, but if you are not focusing on the programming, what will happen? Suppose if you are going to take an AI solution, so artificial intelligence or non-AI solution, whatever it may be. So if you are going to take, suppose if you want to build a, suppose some app, some application like Ola or Uber, whatever it may be, if you are going to build some kind of an application, so if you are going to book a cab, so simply it will show the fare. It will simply show the fare. That is some X to some Y. If you want to go, so it will show some fare before going to book the cab. So how these are all happening? So this is, I take one example of an application and I'm telling. So unless if we are not doing the programming, how we can use all these kind of applications. So this is so in order to implement such kind of applications, you need some kind of programming. This is a kind of prediction. So before going to book the cab, it is showing some kind of prediction. So for doing the prediction also, simply randomly it won't show that number based on the time. Something internally, some forecasting for prediction, that is kind of machine learning. So these are all happen with the help of programming only. So this is the main thing. You want to design or establish an application. If you are not going to develop, if you are not use the programming, there is no point of meaning to see an application every day, daily, our lives. So everywhere, if you also want to build such kind of application, you should have to know the programming. So that is the main thing. So if you want to communicate with if you want to communicate with the system, so I'm communicating with you all people. How I am communicating, whatever I am telling, something you are getting in your mind or something you are getting understanding. How you are understanding based on the language, what I am speaking, what I am conveying to you, the similar way you are going to grasp the things, whatever I'm telling. The similar way, if you want to communicate with the system, some words it should be there. That words we will be calling as a programming language. Unless system, if you are telling to do something, if you are not giving some instruction how to do, when to do, like that, if you are not giving, then how the system could know? So when I have to give the result, whether I have to give the correct result or not, how it could know? So if you want to communicate with you all people, we'll be communicating through the English vocabulary. The similar way, if you want to communicate with the system, we will be communicating with the system through some words. So like that. So every mechanical system or industry using as of now, either mobile desk application or desktop application, whatever it may be. So there is a kind of a without programming involvement, no application has came up to now. So whatever the predictions you are seeing every day, whatever the things in your mobile phone or whatever the application you are going to see, these all depends on the programming only. Suppose if I'm going to tell suppose I'm going to deliver the some class. So whatever I'm going to deliver the some class, you will be getting the some doubts. So whenever if you ask that doubt, I will try to classify that doubt. So that is how you are how you are asking me based on whatever I am telling. If you have any doubts, you that is a kind of instruction. So how this is the way you have to follow like that. So the instructions I am going to try to classify your doubt. So that is, suppose if you are having that doubt, whatever I have delivered the content. So I will give some instruction. You have to follow in this way. You have to follow in that way, or I will classify your doubt. So how you will tell? I'm giving some instructions. You have to follow accordingly. The similar way, if you want to communicate with the system, you have to do in this way. You have to do in that way. You have to tell to the system such a way that you have to do this thing. You have to do that thing. Like that, you are going to give the instruction to the system. So you have to treat the system like as a child. How we are treating the child, as the child doesn't know anything in the starting infant age. The similar way how we are treating, the similar way you have to treat your system. It doesn't know anything. You have to do in this way to get that result. You have to do in that way to get the result. Suppose in the childhood, the no one knows anything. The parents will give some instructions. We will grow up to this stage. The similar way, if the system initially doesn't know, you have to tell accordingly what you have to do. Unless if you are not telling, just writing a simple line of the code without having the logic, some people will be writing the code. There won't be any logic. So simply by hearting and writing a one line or two lines of the code, it won't give the correct result. Some people will used to ask me, they'll be writing the two lines of the code and they want to get the expected result. Whether is that a human to get understanding what is there in your mind, the system also has to know what you want to get from that system, what I want to get from you. So unless if you are not telling to the system how you will write without logic, so the building is so much important here. Without logic building, if you're writing the programming, then no use. So how to build that logic? How you have to think accordingly to write the program? That is the main thing before writing any kind of programming. Such every person should have to know. So how you have to think in the logical way to write the programming. So those are all will be discussing here. We are using something. If you want to ask the system, if you want to get the some result, you will be asking some sort of doubt. How you are asking some sort of doubt for me? Even you also have to treat the system. So I want to get that result. You please, I will be giving some instruction. Based on that instruction, computer system, please give. You are asking your system. That is how you are asking in kind of programming language. So that is what you are going to learn. So if you are thinking in that way, programming is nothing. So just you have to think in the logical way. That is very simple. That also will be seeing in the further classes how to think logically, how to do everything. So this is the Python is only the language. Why everyone is asking for the data analyst, data engineering, data scientist? Wherever you are going to see, the Python is the most essential skills. Even if you know the some nowadays some companies, if you know the SQL and Power BI and some Tableau, some visualization tool, even though if you know these things, if still they are asking the Python. Why they are asking that Python? So the data analyst role also they are asking. So why this is Python is that much essential for data science? That is what we want to know. Or data science, or data analyst, or data engineering. All these are things I told up to now. Even I'm giving some instructions because before going to learn the Python, before want to get the interest for you, some people will feel hard. So I'm trying to get removed from your brain as if this programming language is not that much hard. That is my main intention in this class. I don't want to give such kind of demo where I want to deliver the content in the first class itself. Just I want to say how this Python, why this Python is important, how you have to think in such a way, and you have to remove fear from your brain before attending the programming language class. And we try to use the Python in AI kind of system. Suppose Python is not only language in data analyst, suppose whether whatever the things, whether we can't be implement in other programming languages, we can implement. Python is not only the language. Python is not only the language, even you can implement through C, C++, Java, JavaScript, even in other languages also you can implement. So why the Python? So all the things, whatever you are going to develop here in the Python, even the Java also you can develop. So in the data science, especially, everyone is preferring the Python because of libraries. So if you want to implement some kind of any application, AI application, instantaneously library is available. So how you will write, just import, like this will be there. Import whatever you want, get that library, just you will write that library name, and simply whatever you need, simply will be writing something based on import numpy as NP. Suppose if you want to get the some random number, just you will be just np dot random dot random. That's all. Completed. Generating random number, that's all. You no need to write the 100 lines, 200 lines of code. Simply by using that import function, by using that library, just by writing simple line, you are able to generate. So this is how the flexible is Python and compared to other programming languages. If we have any proficiency in one language, adapting the other language is so easy. If you know the Python, you can learn any other language very easily. It won't take that much amount of time how you learn the Python. So that is also a flexibility. Suppose in the Python in the future, some other language it came. For example, that some people will be having that kind of doubt also. Today I'm learning Python. So after some years, some other programming language is also coming. So where they have implemented more than of libraries compared to the Python. Suppose if you have thought in that way, then also no problem. If you learn the Python in a perfect way, adapting other programming language, it won't take that much amount of time for learning. That is where I can say. Suppose other programming languages, you will see it is in the more complex in terms of views, in terms of syntax. Syntax, it will be there. Next, commands. All it is in the complex way. But as a practitioner, developer, data scientist, data developer, Python is one of the easiest to develop, whether it's system programming, graphical user interface, data mining. So other programming languages. So if you take the other programming languages, this is more complex in terms of syntax, in terms of use, in terms of commands. All the things are very difficult. And even you have to write the lines of code. But here, just you will be writing simply 1 or 2 lines. That's all. One of the easiest language to develop if you want to develop some kind of graphical user interface, or if you want to do the data mining, that is data pre-processing, data cleaning. So I think all of you come from, I'm assuming that all you came from SQL background. If you know SQL, there will be writing a query just for doing some operation on the table. Or if you want to do some pre-processing, or if you want to join the tables, writing a query, you are going to write. The similar way, here also, if you want to do some kind of operations in that similar way, Python is also very easy. Similar kind of SQL queries only. Writing a single line where you are going to import that library. By using that library, you will be doing the required operation. That is all doing on the data. Data mining, data pre-processing, data cleaning, all will be doing on the same thing. So the Python applications, where nowadays the Python is using. So it is system programming. So that is where you are going to develop some some results based on whatever the requirement you required, writing lines of code which won't be suitable, which won't be advisable also. So further things, we'll be preferring this system programming. Next, GUI. If you want to develop some GUI desktop application, there also the Python nowadays it is more useful, as well as web scraping. So whatever the content is there, if you want to extract the data through the web, or if you want to extract some kind of information from the websites, that is also possible. Which you can implement easily through Python. Next one is managing database. Even you can connect this Python through any kind of SQL servers, and you can connect those server either relay either kind of relational database or MySQL or NoSQL, whatever it may be. If you want to connect that, you can connect the database and you can extract the information. So whatever you require. So Python to database connection is also, it's very easy in the Python. As well as if you want to develop some application, or if you want to build some kind of prototype. So you have something in your mind to develop some application. So implementing the Python is very easy compared to implementing in other programming languages. You can implement that prototype very fast. That is fast prototyping. Next one is numeric or scientific programming. So numeric or scientific, suppose if you want to do some logarithmic calculations or mathematical operations like trigonometry functions, whatever it may be, statistics, all you can develop very easily by using Python compared to other programming languages. Next one is if you want to develop some game, some kind of the game development if you have in your mind. So there also this Python is very essential. So it can be developed very easily. Next one is image processing. Suppose I think all of you know the facial detection. Based on the facial detection, it has to tell that in your phone, based on the seeing your phone, by your face, phone screen gets unlocked. So unless other face which other people see into your phone also, it won't get unlocked. Based on your screen only, face only, it will get unlocked. As well as facial attendance system. So all these kind of things. like as well as an object detection, image classification in the medical MRI, CT scans. So wherever the CT scan images are there, where exactly the kind of disease it is there, we don't know. Some scanning images will be there. In that scanning images, some people will be used to uh, make the diagnosis, and they will be writing some kind of impression at the bottom of the scanning report. That is by assuming that these people is having based on this CT scan report. Like that, the doctor will be radiologist will be getting signed. So that all can be replaced by the help of AI. All that is possible with the help of Python only. So where the program where is able to tell that what kind of that particular disease is based on that scanned image. AI itself is able to tell and it will generate the report. So where all these are happening because of Python only, because of having more number of libraries. So next one, robotics. In robotics also, we'll be using this, want to develop robotics. I think you know the first say citizenships also robot it got it, as well as news readers in China. Most of the news readers are to robots only. Even the citizenship also they have taken robots. So this is all because of with the help of Python. Next one is automation. So whatever the things, if you want to do the some kind of art in the future, whatever the application it is coming, whatever the things you are doing, irrespective of any job, Python is mandatory skill. So that much efficient everyone should require. Even if you are DevOps engineer, or even if you are in the SQL developer, or even if you are in the Power BI, so the Python is essential nowadays. So wherever you are going, so the even if you see in the Naukri, they all the people are asking the Python is an essential skill. So because of these are all because of these applications only, there that is an mandatory skill it came. If these applications not existence, there won't be a Python is mandatory skill. Because of the days are growing, the applications are growing faster and getting the new technologies day to day. Because of development of the things are getting easier compared to the previous days. Because of easiest and fast prototyping which is happened through Python. So why to do other program language, all these kind of applications by scratching our head? So that is where it came. So you want to know why you want to learn, why this much importance. That's why I'm telling all these things. Next one is suppose if you want to go data science, not only data science. Data science means data engineering, data analyst, all this comes into data science only. Machine learning, deep learning, NLP, etc. If you want to learn this data related to data thing, if you want to do any kind of job, you must should have know Python. That is what the mandatory skill nowadays it came. Next one is data mining. Data mining means like data pre-processing and everything. So these are all things. This is different story. Data mining, all these things I won't discuss now because this is not our course. These are all applications. Main target. After Python classes, I'm going to take machine learning also. Machine learning as well as deep learning. And I won't stop up to Python. So next thing I'm going to discuss the machine learning as well as deep learning. Other language will have some sort of restrictions, but Python we don't have such kind of restriction because of having which Python supports so many kind of libraries. Learning Python, which you won't feel that is not a big deal. Library, I told that libraries in Python, we have so many libraries. What is library? Library is a package of functions or methods. What is function? That all we'll discuss in the further classes. Yeah, if you have any doubts, you can discuss with me.
Yeah, we have to use pandas or actually NumPy.
For what?
Which is a pandas is using here or a NumPy is using here?
Both.
Both. Okay.
NumPy and pandas.
Okay.
NumPy, pandas, matplotlib, cborn, plotly, cufflinks, everything will be covered.
Okay, sir.
All these are come in the library in Python.
Yes, yes. These are all libraries. Still, if you have any doubts, you can ask me.
Image processing it is under the GIS also. So may I use in GIS and remote sensing in this point in the remote sensing and GIS for Python?
Yes, you can use.
So this part also will be covered in this.
No. We won't cover in this course. This is separate course. This is convolution neural networks, artificial intelligence.
Convolution. For these things we have to take different class.
Yeah, this is different course. All image processing, object detection, image classification, object segmentation, all will be covered in that course, like CNN algorithms like LeanNet, vanilla CNN, vanilla, whatever cover I will tell now. Vanilla CNN, LeanNet, these are all classification algorithms. Suppose if I am showing the cat and dog image, so based on that, it has to get, by showing that to the system next time, it has to classify whether that is a cat or whether that is a dog. So that is called as an image classification. So these image classification algorithms all will be covered, like vanilla CNN, LeanNet, LXNet, VGG16, VGG19, ResNet, InceptionNet, GoogleNet, all will be covered in the image classification. As well as in the object detection, I will be going to get covered in this course as RCNN, fast RCNN, faster RCNN, SSD, YOLO V1, V2, V3, V4, V5 also. Now it is going to get running V5. All will be covered. Coming to object detection, object segmentation, as well as tracking. This is separate concept that also will be covered. This is separate course. So before want to learn this convolution neural networks, you have to know the artificial neural networks. So by starting artificial neural networks, I will go to the convolution neural networks. This is all comes under the image processing, where will we cover all these things in this course. Suppose if you want, yeah.
In
Please.
this course we will be cover all those point of whatever you are mentioning.
Pardon?
Whatever you are mentioning in the 8 number of bullet point, this all things will be covered in this course.
In this Python course won't be there. In the separate image, that one, convolution neural networks course, everything will be covered.
For image processing, what kind of things are you going to be to teach in this Python classes?
I won't teach anything here. You want to know the NumPy. So where the NumPy will be useful, that I will tell. That's all.
Okay.
So that is separate course. This is entire things you have to know. So this itself, it will take nearly 4 months. This entire image processing. Coming to natural language processing, if you want to, if you have interest that kind of natural language processing is where we are going to see every day. That is ChatGPT. I think everyone, aware of ChatGPT. Nowadays it is showing in YouTube wherever you open. So that is comes under an NLP, natural language processing. This is also an application artificial intelligence only. That is where I'm going to cover as artificial neural networks. So that is automated response of email, where whenever you are going to write an email, automatically replies are going to get generated. So how it is happening? Because of NLP. So next, suppose if you are going to so anything, if you are going to write some content, automatically 1,000 lines of content, it is going to get summarized and it is showing to 1 line of 1 page. So how it is happening? Because of an NLP. So even if you are in the email, suppose some spam mails, it is going automatically. Before, we don't have that kind of facility. All the mails will be there in the inbox only. Nowadays, some mails are going to spam based on the some kind of words. How it is happening? Because of NLP. And in the website, if you are seeing nowadays, at the corner of the website, you will be finding the some kind of the chart bar. Automatically, the responses are going to generated. How it is happening? Because of NLP. So sometimes if you are going to give some kind of data, automatically it is able to generate some kind of the text. Suppose if you are giving some newspaper to the system, automatically it is able to tell that this is a sports section, this is a movie section, this is this section. It will be telling how this is happening because of NLP. As well as next thing, some kind of reviews. Based on the reviews, it is able to tell that this application, it is suitable for you. So based on the reviews, where the business is going to get expanded or not. So reviews, it is able to read by itself, and it is able to tell that whether it is a positive review or negative review. So based on the sentiment, what the people are thinking, how it has able to tell. All this is a kind of an NLP application only. So automatically in the chat GPT, if you are want to write some code, if you are giving some question, automatically the code also it is able to
Okay.
generate.
But we are discussing about Python, non NLP on convolution neural network. So briefly discussing about Python, like what we will going to be learn about this all course. So maybe so what you said, so what sir you are going to be cover in that image processing classes?
Yeah, I don't know already. This image processing, these all things will be covered. This is separate course. Python is separate course. Python is I'm targeting to the developer, Python developers, as well as which is essential for data community. That is data science, data analyst, and data engineer. That is entirely different course, Python, where I won't cover all these things. If you want to get all these things, it is separate course.
Okay. So,
I
but
won't.
my question is like whatever you are mentioning, then like 11 data science, automation, robotics, from system programming to data science. So, what will all those point are?
System program. Pardon? Can you repeat again?
From the system programming to data science, whatever you are write down on that page, like these things will be all covered in this Python course, na?
Yes, yes. What is essential Python if you want to develop such kind of an application? These are all applications I told. So these
Okay.
applications, if you
Okay.
want to do all these things, you have to know the
Uh,
Python. That is the main target. I written all these things. This writing here, it means it doesn't mean that I will cover all these things. These are all applications. If you know the Python, you can develop all these things. That I am going to tell here.
okay.
How much importance to Python is, for that reason I have written all these things here.
Hello.
Yes, please sir.
Sir, in this course, which topics are covered? Which how many topics are covered?
So
Hello.
I will share the screen. 1 minute. The topics also I will write here. 1 minute, please give. One minute, I will share the screen. What the topics also will be covered in the Python. That also I'll show. So where it is going to get covered as, I'll take some new file where I'm going to cover as Python core. So that is loops, that is while loop, for loop, all these things, conditions, if else conditions, break and continue, all these will be covered. That is Python core. Second one is where I'm going to cover as the strings, objects, and collections. Strings, objects, and collections. That is a list, tuple, dictionary, sets. Different data structures will be covered. That is tuples, sets, dictionaries, and functions. All will be covered here. Next one is OOPS concepts. OOPS concepts will be covered. All the OOPS concepts. And we'll be working with files. That also will be covered. Next one is what is modules, what is meant by module, what is library, how to create a library on your own if you are having such kind of an idea. That is a modules, exception handling, and database programming. How to interact with database, how to do. All these things will be covered here. Next one is Flask. Flask will be covered here. Flask and API will be covered here. Next one is visualization. Visualization libraries like Matplotlib. Either any of the library I will take, or if time permits, I will tell all the libraries. So if any of the library, if you know, that is more than enough. Seaborn, Plotly, and Cufflinks. In these, I will tell all the libraries. If time not permits, I will tell one or two libraries. That is visualization. Even if you know one library, other libraries is easy. Next one where I'm going to cover as Python Pandas. Pandas I'm going to cover. Next one is NumPy. NumPy I will be going to cover. Next one is exploratory data analysis, where you are going to, if you are having the data, what kind of data you want to do. Suppose some kind of future engineering. If you want to do some future selection. So on the data, if you are getting what operations you are supposed to do, all those things you will be going to do through exploratory data analysis. So after that, you are going to do the project on your own. So project you will be doing on your own. So I will be guiding. So accordingly, you have to do. So I will not share any kind of project based on the things what you have discussed, what we are discussed. I will guide every day until you complete your project on your own. The project has to do by yourself. That is where my main intention is. You have to do the project. I will guide accordingly at the end. So this is what my intention, what I will cover in this. This not restricted to only this. Even I will cover, if time permits, some more necessary topics also in this Python course. So if anyone having doubts regarding this, you can ask me.
Sir, will this course be helpful for like experienced people as well? Like not in
Yes.
person, but yeah, in interviews.
Yeah, for everyone it is helpful. Not only for the specific person, whoever doing in job in the non-IT or an IT sector, as well as who are going to freshers. For everyone, the Python is useful nowadays.
Okay. And then for interviews, sir, like, is it fine for these only topics if we know?
Yeah, it is. It looks like only few topics, but I will cover more topics. It is looking like a few only, but is there in depth of every whatever the concept which I'm taking here, which will be an in depth. It won't
Okay.
get complete in a single day. For me, Boop's concept itself, last batch, it take for me 1 month.
Oh, okay.
Because unless if you are not getting, there is no use of running of the concept, no. So that
Yeah.
is where, unless if you don't understand, I will repeat again.
Okay, sir.
If you don't understand, there is no meaning. So that's why. So I will try to simplify as much as possible until you get the concept. So batch to batch, it will vary.
Okay.
Batch to batch, it varies. So I won't tell that this batch will get finished in this month. So we'll be targeting to that, but you have to work along with me. So if you are not, if I'm not satisfied, I won't go to other topic. I have to satisfy based on your knowledge. based on your updation of the skill, whatever you learn up to present day. So by that only I can go next topic. So yeah, please tell.
Sir, whatever you cover, entire Python cover or only data science,
No,
data
this is
purpose?
not data purpose. This Python is for data developer only. Python developer.
Python developer. And anywhere,
Only here I am not covering Django.
anywhere it is used, sir.
Yeah, anywhere
Anywhere.
you can attend interviews, no, undoubtedly. Even my last batch students, they went for interviews. They got selected.
Okay. Thank you.
One person she went, and another person also, he went. He is working in the SQL, but he went for the Python. He attended some interviews.
You are covered entire Python.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, sir. Thank
except Django, everything I will cover here. If we want to get Django also, that is again separate course, because again it will take so much time.
you. Django means front end, sir. Front end.
Yeah, that is front-end application where you are going to develop that
Okay.
API, where I'm not going to discuss here. Instead of Django, I'm going to discuss Flask. That is what here I have mentioned.
Along with entire Python with machine learning also.
Only
This course.
Python.
Only
Machine
Python.
learning separate course.
Okay, okay.
So I think you are Ramakrishna.
Ma'am, was there already?
Okay, Ramakrishna, can you talk what you need from my side?
Yes, sir. Is this course of combinational course or it is separate only for Python?
It is only for Python.
Okay.
So if you want to get the machine learning and deep learning, that also I am going to take those classes. That is separate course, not in this batch. But if you are going to attend the machine learning or deep learning, the Python is a mandatory skill. So if anyone wants to join in machine learning or deep learning, this Python batch is in this Python. You first, I will tell Python, unless the Python, if you completed, then only you can attend that machine learning batch. So there also machine learning also, the Python is mandatory skill. So in this Python batch, if you join, so if you complete that entire Python course, then you are eligible to attend those machine learning and deep learning classes. That is machine learning and deep learning, entire thing I will be covering. So in the machine learning also, nowadays they are asking ML ops. So like is combination of DevOps. AWS DevOps, I think you people have heard. The similar way for machine learning and artificial intelligence also, the ops concept they have used. This how DevOps will be there. The similar way, the DevOps concepts here also they are used in this machine learning. So that is where every company nowadays they are asking, not only machine learning is sufficient, even you have to learn ML ops also. That is separate course, not in this course.
Is it runs with simultaneously with Python or after completion of Python?
After completion of Python. If you know the Python, you can let me know so that I can take the machine learning separately for the batch. Who knows the Python? Prerequisite is Python. If you are interested, already if you know the Python, we can start the machine learning batch from tomorrow itself.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, I have 5 years of career gap. Can I get job in this field, IT field with these topics? With these
Python developer, if you want to go, so these topics is sufficient, or even you have to know the frameworks also, like Django and Flask.
Okay, so sir, I have already learned about basics of Python, like that operators, data types, how modules, OOPS concept, like these all are covered, sir. Which course
Okay,
is better for me, sir?
you know Python.
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you know the Python, then you can go for a data analyst, no? Data analyst, SQL, Power BI, Python, Tableau, and statistics.
Okay, but I don't have knowledge about pandas, NumPy, like that, Flask, Django frameworks, sir.
Okay, Python and Pandas and NumPy, if you don't have an idea also, then it is sufficient to go for data analyst.
Okay, sir. In data analyst, which topics are covered, sir? Please tell me about that.
Data analyst already SQL Power BI it is going now here.
Okay.
So here the other things if you want will be discussing from my side. That is already Bhaskar sir is taking SQL and Power BI. Here I'm going to take as Python. So 3 courses get completed here only, and still you want to know the statistics.
Okay, sir.
Statistics,
Now,
I can tell where the descriptive and inferential statistics, that is separate concept. That is purely related to mathematical kind of thing.
okay, sir. Sir, you are telling me like that I have knowledge on Python. You are suggested to me about SQL and data analytics course, right?
Hmm.
Okay, sir.
And if you are if you want to learn the machine learning, deep learning, and if you are more interest and keen to learn all those things, that is also fine. By going to learning machine learning also, you can go for the machine learning engineer. That is all depends on your interest. If you
Okay, sir.
learn Python,
Okay.
if you learn Python, then if you are going for machine learning, definitely you should know these pandas and everything. Pandas, NumPy, all these things. If you learn all these things, later if you learn the machine learning plus machine learning ops, then you can go for machine learning engineer.
Okay. Sir, in your point of view, which course is better for freshers and without experience with career gap students?
So even without experience, freshers, long gap also, so many went for data scientist, NLP engineer also. I cannot tell that exactly which it will
Okay.
be better. Though that all
Okay.
depends on your interest only.
Okay, sir. Sure.
Some people wants to learn, some people wants to develop some kind of an application, some people are too eager to know something, some people are good in the programming, some people wants to do some kind of analysis, some wants to do some kind of interrogation or investigating of data, some want to do some kind of predictions. Everyone will have their own interest. Based on their interest, they have to choose the skill accordingly. Suppose they want to develop some, if you are good, somewhat perfect in mathematics, then I can suggest you in the artificial intelligence. Even that also it is having more number of jobs. In AI, which is a combination of mathematics, programming, statistics, everything it's combination. I cannot say that if you know only programming, you cannot get an AI job. You are also should be more perfect in mathematics and statistics. If you are in the good, if you are more strong in that things, I can suggest you that you can take as machine learning engineer. Where even if you don't know the mathematics also, no need of worries, where I am going to cover from the scratch, the statistics concepts, which is essential for the data science.
Hello,
Okay.
sir.
Apart from these course, and we have to learn artificial intelligence is a extra course, right, sir?
Yeah, artificial intelligence is an extra course.
Okay, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please tell.
Sir, I want to learn data analysis. So, which course best for me? Can you explain, sir?
Data analyst, you can choose for SQL, Power BI, Python, statistics.
Okay, sir.
And some companies preferring some Tableau. If you know the Tableau also some kind of visualization tool. So that also will be better. If you know Power BI, Tableau, learning of Tableau is not that much difficult.
Okay, sir.
సార్ మెషిన్ లెర్నింగ్ మీరు స్టార్ట్ చేస్తున్నారా సార్ ఈ బ్యాచ్?
మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తామండి.
ఓకే సార్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. అంటే డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ కూడా
డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ సెపరేట్ కోర్సు. మీరు ఫుల్ స్టాక్ డేటా సైన్స్ తీసుకుంటే మొత్తం కవర్ అవుతుంది.
అంటే అది మీరే టీచ్ చేస్తారా సార్? వేరే
అన్ని నేనే అండి. మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ నేనే, మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ ఆప్స్ నేనే, AWS DevOps కావాలనుకుంటే అది నేనే, డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ నేనే, CNN నేనే, NLP నేనే.
ఓకే, అంటే NLP వేరే కోర్సా సార్, లేదంటే ఇందులో మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ లో కవర్ అయిపోతుంది?
మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ సెపరేట్ కోర్స్ అండి, NLP సెపరేట్ కోర్సు. నేను అలా కాదు, నేను ఫుల్ స్టాక్ డేటా సైన్స్ తీసుకుంటాను అనుకుంటే మొత్తం కవర్ అవుతుంది. మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, అన్ని కవర్ అవుతాయి. అలా కాదు నాకు సెపరేట్ గా ఓన్లీ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ కావాలి అనుకుంటే మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ సెపరేట్ కోర్స్ అండి.
ఓకే, అంటే ఫుల్ స్టాక్ కోర్సు తీసుకుంటే ఇవన్నీ చెప్తానంటున్నారు అంతేనా సార్?
ఇవన్నీ కవర్ అవుతాయండి.
సార్ NLP డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ లో కవర్ అవుతుందా?
NLP డీప్ లెర్నింగ్, ఓన్లీ డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ తీసుకుంటే NLP కవర్ అవుతుంది. ఓన్లీ డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ అంటే ANN, CNN, NLP 3 కవర్ అవుతాయి.
అంటే డేటా సైంటిస్ట్ కి మొత్తం కావాలి కదా సార్, అంటే NLP, న్యూరల్ నెట్వర్క్స్ ఇవన్నీ టచ్ అవుతాయి కదా.
డేటా సైంటిస్ట్ అంటే అన్నీ కావాలండి. పైథాన్ కావాలి, R కావాలి, డిస్క్రిప్టివ్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్, ఇన్ఫరెన్షియల్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్, మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ ఇంజనీర్, మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ ఆప్స్, Tableau, Power BI, SQL. నెక్స్ట్ కమింగ్ టు డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్, బిగ్ డేటా, హడూప్, హైవ్, పైస్పార్క్, ఇలా ఎక్సెట్రా చాలా ఉన్నాయి. కసంద్రా, HBase, ఇలా డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ స్కిల్స్ కూడా తెలియాలి. వీటితో పాటు డీప్ లెర్నింగ్ ఇంజనీర్లో ANN, CNN, NLP తెలియాలి. ఇవన్నీ కలిపితేనే డేటా సైంటిస్ట్, డేటా సైన్స్ అని అంటాం. డేటా సైన్స్ అంటే ఓన్లీ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్, డీప్ లెర్నింగే కాదు, డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, డేటా అనలిస్ట్ కవర్ అవుతుంది, డెవాప్స్ కవర్ అవుతుంది. ఇవన్నీ కవర్ అవుతేనే డేటా సైంటిస్ట్ అంటారు, డేటా సైన్స్ అంటారు.
అదే సార్, డేటా అనలిస్ట్ గా వెళ్ళాలంటే స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కూడా కావాలి అన్నారు కదా పైథాన్ లో. సో పైథాన్ లో
కావాలి. పైథాన్ లో కవర్ అవుతుంది. స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ సెపరేట్ కోర్స్, అది సెపరేట్ 1.5 month ఉంటుంది. అది
అంటే ఇక్కడ చెప్తారా సార్ గో ఆన్లైన్ లో?
చెప్తాము, నేనే అండి చెప్పేది. సెపరేట్ కోర్స్ అది స్టాటిస్టిక్స్.
ఓకే ఓకే సార్.
సార్ AI అండ్ ML స్టూడెంట్స్ కు ఏది నేర్చుకుంటే బాగుంటుంది?
AML మీరు ఏదో ఒకటి ఉండాలి. AML ఏంటి? ML మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్, డీప్ లెర్నింగ్, లేకపోతే మొత్తమా అనేది మీరు డిసైడ్ అవ్వండి. మీ అందరికి ఒక ఐడియా రావాలి అంటే మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ లో మనం ప్రిడిక్షన్స్ చేస్తాం. సో ఇది ఇప్పుడు ఇదేంటి అంటే హౌస్ ప్రైస్ అనుకోండి, రేపు ఫ్యూచర్ లో హౌస్ ప్రైస్ ఎంత ఉండొచ్చు. సో ఈ ప్రజెంట్ పర్సన్ ఎస్ఆ కాదా, ఎస్ఆర్ నోనా, ఇలా క్లాసిఫికేషను, ఎస్టిమేషన్లు, ప్రిడిక్షన్లు చెప్పేది మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్. మిషన్ అనేది లెర్న్ చేసుకుని ప్రిడిక్షన్స్ చెప్పేది మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్. నేను అలా కాదు, నాకు NLP ఇప్పుడు ప్రెసెంట్ ఉన్న ట్రెండ్ నేచురల్ లాంగ్వేజ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ లో అప్లికేషన్స్ బిల్డ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, ఇమేజ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ లో నేను చేయాలనుకుంటున్నాను, సమ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఇమేజెస్ లో నేను ఏదైనా ఒక అప్లికేషన్ నాకు సొంతంగా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉన్న వాటితో నేను మన సిస్టమ్ మనం ఎలా నేర్చుకుంటున్నామో సిస్టమ్ కూడా అలానే నేర్పించి సిస్టమ్ ని ట్రైన్ చేసి సిస్టమ్ జనరేట్ చేసేటట్టుగా నువ్వు చేయాలి అని నీకు ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటే దెన్ ఐ విల్ సజెస్ట్ ఫర్ ది ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్. మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ అనేది వేరు, ఆర్టిఫిషియల్ ఇంటెలిజెన్స్ వేరు. అది ప్యూర్లీ న్యూరల్ నెట్వర్క్స్ మీద డిపెండ్ అయి ఉంటుంది. మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ లో మొత్తం కూడా ఈక్వేషన్ బేస్డ్ మ్యాథమెటికల్ ఈక్వేషన్ బేస్ చేసుకుని ప్రిడిక్షన్స్ ఇస్తుంది.
మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ ఇంజనీరింగ్ టాపిక్స్ సరిపోతాయి సార్ పైథాన్?
Would you please translate in English? What's the international?
Yeah, see, I will translate in English also because if people has asked in the language, that's why spoken in the Telugu. So what I'm saying here is machine learning is based on the equation. Based on the equation, it is going to predict some kind of the price prediction as well as the classification. But in the deep learning, it is going to generate some new images. It is going to generate some text based on its learning. That is what I am going to tell. So it is going to, what are the applications we are going to see nowadays? It's not a kind of prediction where it is able to tell that exactly what that particular image is, what that particular thing is. So if you want to do other than prediction, if you want to classify that particular image or if you want to generate that image, that kind of applications, if you want to have that kind of interest, I will prefer to choose an artificial intelligence course. So that is all depends on your interest. Every course is having the equal opportunity. I cannot say that this is having these many opportunities. This course is having these kind of opportunities. Every course is having equal opportunities. That all depends on your interest. So many people has in the market, the artificial intelligence people, they are having so many kind of jobs, but because of lack of the knowledge completely in the AI, they are not going in that field. So that is where they are going to ask in interview statistics, mathematics also in an interview. If you know only the programming and if you know only the theory, that is not sufficient. They will ask you to derive, they will ask you to do some kind of mathematics also in an interview. You are supposed to tell that kind of mathematics answers also. So unless if you don't know the mathematical intuition behind the algorithms, there is nothing point of learning the Python and implementing. So you should have to know the mathematical intuition, how it is happening, how they have developed, how it is going to predict, how it is going to generate. This all comes based on the mathematics part only. So that if you have to know the in depth of mathematics behind each and every algorithm. Unless if you don't know the in depth of algorithm, you cannot able to crack the interviews easily in the data science. Only programming is not sufficient in the data science. You have to think in the business point of view. You have to think in the point of mathematical point of view. Every point of view you have to think.
Sir, I want to become a ML engineer. What topics are learned? I have to learn.
Machine learning engineer means if you have to know this Python. SQL is mandatory. Before going to Python, I will tell first one is SQL. If you don't know SQL, then after learning SQL only you come to Python.
Okay. After
first
Python.
is SQL. Next one is Python. Next one is if you know the visualization tool, that also it will be plus point for you. Power BI. Power BI also it's mandatory. Next another one is machine learning. Next point is we're going to machine learning where I'm going to cover supervised and unsupervised learning algorithms. Before that, I'm going to tell the statistics. So statistics is the most essential for the machine learning, where I'm going to cover the entire statistics, where I'm going to ask you to solve the some of the questions, how the mathematics class you have come across through your undergraduate and your kindergarten, how you are going to do in the mathematics part. The similar way where we are going to solve so many problems in this statistics class, where you have to know the entire statistics in depth. Unless if you don't know the in-depth of the statistics, you are not supposed to learn the machine learning. So where I'm going to cover the statistics, entire statistics here, which is essential for machine learning. After completion of statistics, I will go for the machine learning, where I am going to cover the supervised learning and unsupervised learning algorithms. In the supervised learning algorithm, where I am going to cover KNN, linear regression, logistic regression, decision tree, random forest, ADA boost, gradient boosting, XGBoost, SVM. Coming to unsupervised learning, PCA, time series forecasting, K-mean clustering, hierarchical clustering, DB scan clustering, all will be covered here. Later, how to deploy in the AWS, how to deploy in the Microsoft Azure, how to deploy in the GCP, Google Cloud Platform. All the 3 cloud platforms, how to deploy, I will be showing your application. This is what everything is covered in the machine learning.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
సో మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ కోర్స్ కి ఎంత టైం పట్టొచ్చు సార్? 4 or 5 months?
Machine learning course ki, it will take 4 to 4 months. Based on you, I cannot say that this much time. Based on you.
సార్ మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ లో
Some-
పైథాన్ కవర్ చేస్తారు కాబట్టి ఇక్కడ పైథాన్ సపరేట్ గా నేర్చుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు కదా సార్? ఎందుకంటే మళ్ళీ దీనికి ఫీజు దానికి ఫీజు కొంచెం చూసుకోవాలి. అది కొంచెం సజెస్ట్ చేయండి. కన్ఫ్యూజ్ అవుతున్నాం కొంచెం.
Machine learning, if you are opting the machine learning course, the Python won't be covered in the machine learning course.
ఓకే.
So Python will be delivered in this course only. If you want to opt for machine learning, where the Python fees will be deducted in the machine learning course, remaining fees for machine learning.
ఓకే.
Python only in this class only I will tell. If you are opting for machine learning batch, you have to attend these classes mandatorily.
ఓకే. ఓకే సార్. ఓకే.
Still anyone have doubts? Shall we close? Shall we close the session? Others? Okay then, thank you all.